everyone, I'm Sister Vassa, and this is just a brief video to answer the many questions that we've been receiving here at Coffee headquarters in Vienna, Austria, about the upcoming Pan-Orthodox Synod. So here are the top 10 things, the basic things you need to know about the upcoming Pan-Orthodox Synod. Number 1, it's not called the Pan-Orthodox Synod. So stop calling it that if you've been calling it that. It is called the Holy and Great Council. Number 2, it is taking place at the Orthodox Academy in Crete, which is the largest and most populous of the Greek islands. The Orthodox Academy of Crete, which is near the very quiet coastal town of Kolimbari, receives great reviews online on a site called TripAdvisor, like this review: wonderfully secluded sanctuary for a conference, spectacular ocean views, wonderful staff with outstanding English and organizational skills, great Wi-Fi connection most of the time, the rooms are comfortable, the food is basic but good, good-sized conference rooms, wonderful coffee breaks, mountain goats are plenty on the road. So, the bishops are meeting in a nice place, not extravagant, but comfortable and nice, where the Wi-Fi works most of the time, and with great coffee. So don't worry about the coffee, okay, Zillions? I know the Zillions are worried about the coffee, but just don't. Number 3, the council will be held from June 16th to June 27th, 2016, and Orthodox Pentecost is on June 19th, in case you didn't know, so they will be there all together right on Pentecost. Now, I know you people are worried about the weather, but do not. Temperatures in Crete are very nice in June, averaging between 75 and 82 degrees Fahrenheit in the daytime, and cool winds from the mountains mitigate the midday heat and make the evenings pleasant for anyone relaxing after an entire day of historical Holy and Great Council meetings. Even when the Wi-Fi isn't working. No, probably especially when the Wi-Fi is not working. And this brings us to our next points, the agenda of this upcoming council. Now, there are 6 items that are to be discussed and decided upon, so I'll just list them among our next things in our top 10 list. So, number 4 will be the first item on the agenda, the mission of the Orthodox Church in the contemporary world. Now, the second item, the Orthodox Diaspora, that is, the Orthodox churches outside the traditionally Orthodox countries like Greece, Russia, Serbia, and so on. Third item, autonomy and its manner of proclamation. Now, the word autonomy is a special canonical status of a church, for those of you who don't know, which for a church that is self-ruled, but not entirely independent, which would mean autocephalous. See, an autocephalous church has its own primate. So autonomous means a step below of total autocephaly. Now, the issue that the council will discuss is how exactly the status of autonomy should properly be proclaimed in today's world. Because you see, Zillions, neither the word autonomy nor autocephaly is found in the basic canonical codex of the Orthodox Church, the present-day version of which was completed in the year 883. That is exactly 1,133 years ago. So the world looks quite different, even geographically, today than it did back then, and this of course affects various territorial and administrative questions. But let's move on to the next item 4 on the agenda, the Sacrament of Marriage and its impediments. This is quite a painful topic for many lay people, for example, in the cases of remarriage or mixed marriages, and so on. There's all sorts of problems with this. Now, item 5 of the agenda is the significance of fasting and its application today. And finally, item 6, relations of the Orthodox Church with the rest of the Christian world. So, lots of important issues here, but let's get to our final number in our top 10 list, and that is the fact that the bishops preparing this council, the primates of the Orthodox churches, have requested the prayers of the fullness of the church. So we will reflect a bit more on that in our thought for today. So I'm going to read this request for prayer made by the bishops in a communiqué when they got together on January 27th, 2016 at the Orthodox Center of the Ecumenical Patriarchate in Chambézy, Switzerland. The primates humbly invoke the grace and blessing of the Holy Trinity and fervently invite the prayers of the fullness of the Church, clergy and laity for the period leading to and the sessions of the Holy and Great Council. So this request issued by the bishops asking for the prayers of the fullness of the Church, I think is very helpful because it's an exciting historical event coming up. So what's the first thing we should do? I mean, there's a lot of things that begin to enter one's mind. Perhaps also very cynical assessments, which I have heard. So, let's be the fullness, okay? This is what I want to say. I'm very excited about this council. I'm saying, let's be the fullness and pray, okay? Because you know, who is the fullness of the church? The fullness are the people who see the glass half full and not the glass half empty. I'll bet you didn't know that. Yes, that's what fullness means. These are people who prefer prayer over cynicism and over worry. You know, I have nothing against cynicism, zillions, but, you know, cynicism is easier than heartfelt prayer. But cynicism is also harder in a way because it isn't open to miracles, to the endless possibilities of the Holy Spirit. So let's open up to the Holy Spirit and pray just a bit every day and throughout Lent and all the way to Pentecost, instead of being anxious, as the Apostle says in Philippians 4, verse 6. Do not be anxious, writes the Apostle, about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. Okay? So let's our requests be made known to God in prayer and thanksgiving. That's it for today, everyone. Now, if you'd like to learn more about this, we are covering the various issues that are going to be discussed at the Holy and Great Council on our audio podcasts. We do have audio podcasts of Coffee with Sister Vassa now, so you can subscribe here on Patreon to become a bonus subscriber, and you can listen into the audio podcasts twice a week. You can listen to them on your way to work, or while you're cooking, or whatever you're doing. And also, I remind you that we are providing a little course on the Divine Liturgy. Yes, an introduction to the Byzantine Divine Liturgy to help us participate more consciously in this central prayer of the Church. So tune in, subscribe here, like I said, become a subscriber, and you'll get the audio podcasts and also these videos. So thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time.